Welcome to Trading Lounge, and starting with the ASX 200 on the weekly chart. This is a CFD, of course, and in the 209 move down here in 2009, we consider that wave 4, and we're looking for 5 waves to the upside. So we're looking at wave 1 and wave 2 of primary degree, and then wave 3, wave 4, and then wave 5. So between wave 4 and wave 5 here, we can count it like this here. We can also look at this on the daily chart as well, but just to sort of outline the picture here, we're looking at this as wave 1 and 2 in here, and wave 1 and 2 of the next degree in here, wave 3 here, wave 4 here, and then 5 waves in this little structure here for wave 5 of intermediate wave 3, and then wave 4 here, and then wave 5 up here, and then this is where we're looking for a really serious top at this point here. This can all be squashed up a little bit in here. We won't, in terms of timing, I won't know when this top is in here because I don't know how complicated. I can pretty much estimate this move here, this impulse wave, 5 waves here, but this 3-wave structure here, it may be simple or it may be complex. So we just need to wait to see how time consuming that is. But this is the same count as the, well, let's just say that's not the same count, but it's in line with the SP 500 and also the European markets as well, the European indices as well. So yeah, it's probably pretty much right. So just I'll just want to save that there. Just made a few adjustments there, and we'll have a look on the daily chart, and then we'll drill in from that point there. So I'm just bear with me while I do a bit of housework. So wave 4 here, and I've got I've got wave 1 here because of 1 and 2 here, and then 3 and 4 here, and then 5 here. We do have overlapping wave structures here, so that's the only real problem with this. But when we're working with large numbers here in 5,000 or number 5 here, and 5 being the second strongest number, it can tend to skew wave counts, and I know this because I use the price a lot, as trading levels, but I do see it quite often skew prices. So yeah, so it makes this a reasonable count here, and then up for 1 ABC for 2 here, and then the whole 3rd wave up here, the 4th wave here, and then moving up in 5 waves to the upside here. So we're looking at wave 1 and 2 here, and 3, and we'll put the wave 4 on this low now, and we'll look at that in a moment. And then we're looking for 5 waves to the upside here. Because the extension's in wave 3 here, we would look at wave 1 here and wave 5 here being roughly the same in terms of time and distance. So just on the 4-hourly chart, just sort of moving into this area here now, I have made one mistake in here, and I would like to go over that as well. But in a nutshell, wave 4 here, wave 1 and 2 here, nice strong 3rd wave here, and then we need to look at this wave 4 going into this space here, which is closer to its retracement level as well here. So if we take from wave 2 here and take it to the top of wave 3 here, that's the right thing to do. Well, then the 38.2% is down in this space here. So now we're looking for, whoopsie daisy, we're looking for 5 waves up in this little structure here to make us to finish that off in here. So we need to discuss that as well. So let's just go into the hourly chart and pick up this particular pattern here and the mistake that I've made. And so I'll just open this up a little bit here. So we've got wave 3 here. I didn't have a problem with that. That was correct. And then the A wave here, I naturally thought that I would be looking for, well, a 3-wave move in the A wave rather than a 5-wave move. A 3-wave move puts us into a more complex set of corrections. If it was 5 waves here, then we would have an A wave here in 5 waves, a B wave in 3 waves, and another 5 waves down in the C wave here. But when you get 3 waves in the first instance here, then it's either going to be a flat correction, a triangle correction, or an expanded flat, or a double zigzag. So it gets a bit, wave 4 does get a bit complicated, but so I thought that I had it nailed down, but we ended up with this sharp move down here in 5 waves, which is an expanded flat now. So just to go over that a little bit, the top of wave 3 here, 5 waves down for the A wave, which is this one here, and then the B wave, this green one here, is an A and a B and a C here, so it's an A and a B and a C here. So this was, you know, normally when you look at if wave 2 is simple, then wave 4 will be complex, and that's the same as in corrections as well. If this one is simple, this one's going to be complex, and this is either going to be simple or more complex. So there's always that alternating scenario going on, and that's what confuses a lot of folk. So and in expanded flat as well, the B wave here takes out the top of this one here, and when it the distance it takes that out is normally the distance it will take the lower end out here as well. So that's what we've ended up with, and it's basically in our target range, because we initially we were looking for a pullback into this low here of wave 4 of 1 lesser degree, or the 38.2% retracement level. So it's really coming in at the 5850 there, and that's what we normally do, is just round it off to the closest largest number because of psychology, and which attracts the volume creates the price, and so on. So yeah, I did get caught out there, so apologies for that. I thought we're having a run here. I thought that I mean, the other thing too is that finding a tested support on top of group 1 as well. So it didn't really, I mean, you could put the case forward that it found support on top of this level here, but in my mind, it hadn't. It made the first high above the level, the reaction, the first high above the level, and then retesting it down failed on the retest, and then you know, moved on further. So we do have 5 waves in this little move down through here, and our job now is to count 5 waves moving up into this space here. So once again, support on top of group 1 here again would help us leave the 5-9 and separate the orders being pulled down to that point and moving to the upside here. So our target to the upside here, you would think that 6,000 would be a nice sort of finishing line psychologically as well. So we'll look at that. But on the way up here, there's steps to be taken. One is support on top of 5930, which is the top of group 1. Then we've got the midpoint here, the 50, so we can expect some corrective activity across that. And then we can also expect some activity of resistance in group 2 here, which will be 65, 72, and 80 in this area here. So let's just drill into the tick chart here. This is 100 ticks. So in the first instance, you could count it. You could count it like this here. So I don't know if the market's going to stop here or get up to this point. I would imagine it's going to get up to here. So there's a good case that we've got wave 1 here and wave 2 here, okay, and then 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 coming up here. Well, I don't think 5's even finished here, but I'll just put that there for the time being. So there is that case here. Whichever count that I've got here, we'll see the market move up higher. Yeah, so I mean, the drivers behind this are the banks. I won't go into the banks, but I will go into the banking sector, the XXJ here, and this is a daily chart. So we've got wave 1 here and wave 2 here. Wave 2 was quite complex here. So in this case, whoops, needs to be wave 4 here. Oh, sorry, losing the plot. That needs to be wave 3 there. So don't need that anyway, just move that out of the way. So here clearly we've got wave 1 here, and then an A and a B and a C, almost an expanded flat here as well, but nice strong third wave here, looking for the fourth wave that's pulled back 38.2%. Well, very close anyway, not quite, but close. And then would be looking for 5 waves up here. So if the extension's in wave 3, then wave 1 and wave 5 can be roughly the same. And when we look at wave 1 here, we can see that it took 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 days roughly. So we could call that 8. So anywhere between 5 and 8 days for this run here. So if we've got 5 and 8 day run here on the banks, coming back to this chart here then, we've still got, we could still push up here further. So I've gone into the 10, this is 100 ticks here, so I've gone into 10 ticks here and just labelled out a count here as well. So in this case here, it's pretty much the same. I'll just open this up a little bit here. So this is 10 ticks and just sort of really drilling in here a little bit. But wave 1, 2, that's pretty much indisputable. But then I was looking at this as wave 1 here, and then back for wave 2 here, then 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 in here for 1 and 2 here, and then all of this, the third wave here and a fourth wave here, and then the fifth wave here. So this looks to me as 1 and 2 here, all of the third wave here, the fourth wave here, and the fifth wave up to this point, up to 5,950. And then if this would also be, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I can't draw on this side of the tick chart. So, but from the 950, it's possible for this to come back to the 930. I don't think it will. It normally will just come back to the 40 here. So wave 3, wave 4 coming back to the 40, and then wave 5 up here, creating not a very large move because wave 1 in here was quite small. So really we're looking for a classic trading levels pattern across the 95950 here. So I can draw on this side. So classic trading levels, the arrival, the reaction, the first high above the level, then the corrective move here for wave 4, and then moving up from that point, and that will take us up into group 2 at that stage. So we can look at 72, and then we can just copy this here. That will be 65 and 80 in here. So this is where you can expect to get some profit taking coming in from there. But at the same time, I think that we also need to be mindful and be looking at this 6,000 here as a as a bit of a finishing line there. Okay, so yeah. Right, okay, so that's pretty much it. So I do believe we're going higher. It's just how high can we get? I mean, go. Just kidding. Okay, cheers.